Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Faceless and Not Valueless. My channel is dedicated to help victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. Please join my journey as I get out of narcissistic abuse by liking and subscribing to my videos. I am not a therapist, psychologist, or counselor. Just wanted to let you know. I'm just a person who wants to encourage you in this journey. And so if you want to go ahead and check out my other videos, that way you can get proper context about the newest videos that come into your notification section. So I hope everything that I say today will help you understand that you're not crazy or alone. Always remember that you are loved and valued. So today I'm going to start with saying thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed. For those who have not, please do. It is it's something I enjoy doing. I like helping other people. I know it sounds ironic. I can't help myself during this process, but I want to help other people. So today I want to talk to you about an event that happened in 2015. This video might be a little bit long. I'm going to try to be very brief and get to the point. I want to respect your time. So in 2015, I was living in the dorms. I used to go to another college in my city, like an actual college, not online, just, physical going to the college. By this time, I was living in the dorms. I decided to stay the last trimester of my second year as a sophomore in that school by living there. And everything worked out. I got approved and I didn't have to pay anything. And so I just lived in the dorms for, 3 months. So from March to May. And so during those 3 months, a lot happened. I grew as a person. I felt like I could finally be myself and, meet other people. And I will be sharing more about that experience in other videos. And today specifically, I want to talk to you about what happened on Mother's Day on 2015. And I want to let you know that the dorms I was living in was not your typical dorm. It was like a huge building with different apartments. So my apartment, we had 4 roommates and 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, a laundry section, and a living room that overlooked the city. So it's pretty nice, right? You can only imagine in your head, I'm by myself, I'm having a great time, I get along with my roommates, everyone is very respectful, and I feel like, wow, I can finally be an adult for 3 months, at least for 3 months. And so the day before Mother's Day, and by the way, I want to let you know, I was a fashion marketing major. I changed my major. And so the day before Mother's Day on 2015, a bunch of friends just came up with the idea of volunteering for a fashion show in the city. And by the way, the city is like 3 minutes away, walking, literally. And so we gathered and we went to this really fancy hotel. And since our school wasn't really good in giving us opportunities in the fashion industry, we decided to look for opportunities ourselves to grow our portfolio and to grow our networking abilities. And so all of my friends and I, we gathered, we took the bus because it was far away. I mean, you could walk, but it would take you a long time. So we took the bus and we went to this really fancy hotel, and everyone was like in their stations helping different people. And so we were there, I would say from 1 p.m. to about 9 o'clock. It was very tedious, draining. It consisted of a lot of work, and it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. But the experience was worth it. I could see different things happening as I was helping at the front, letting people into the event. So after the event ended, all of my friends, we got out of the hotel. We were walking down the street to get to the nearest bus station. We waited for the bus, whatever. My male friend, let's call him Tony. So Tony and I were in the bus stop, and my other friends were like giggling and laughing and making fun of each other. And we were like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Let's go to our dorms, whatever. And I thought, okay, I have to like really get to my dorm. Tomorrow is Sunday. I have to go to church and volunteer on Sunday. And then I have to go back to my dorm and sleep and then finish my homework. And it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Like all of this is going on in my head, okay? And so I texted my mom. I'm like thinking to myself, I can't visit her. And by the way, I decided not to visit my mom on Mother's Day because I didn't have her gift. And I didn't want to go visit her without something because I didn't want my dad to criticize me. And I decided to leave that for another occasion. And so I'm like, okay, so I don't know what to do. I have to go to bed. I have to go to church. I have to do my homework. But Mother's Day is tomorrow. Everything's going in my head. Like, it was crazy. And I thought to myself, I'm exhausted. I'm wearing these high heels. I'm in the city. I just want to go home and sleep. So Tony and I, we decided to get some chicken wings right next door to our apartment. There was like a tavern, and they used to make really good food. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. He called and he ordered for me as well. And so I texted my mom and I told her how much I loved her, how much I wanted to be with her. And, I told her that she's the best mom ever, really long text. Because it was about midnight and I'm like, I want to be the first one to, congratulate her, I guess. I don't know. And so I texted her. I really didn't want to call her because I was in the middle of the city. There's a lot of noise and I'm like, I don't need this. So let me just text her. And then I told her, once I get to my apartment, I will let you know. So we hopped on the bus, and so when we got off, all of my friends, they decided to go to different restaurants in the city and different places. And Tony and I, we were like, whatever. I mean, we already, we're going to get those chicken wings. Like, I don't care if they're going to another place. We're going to get our chicken wings. And I'm like, let's go, Tony. Let's do this. And so, by the way, Tony was not a fashion major. He was another major in the school, but he was also interested in fashion. So I'm like, that's totally cool. We can just hang out and then we can go to the apartment because he used to live in the same floor as me. So we were pretty close, you could say. So we went to the tavern. We were walking all that time. And I'm thinking to myself, oh crap, the narc parent knows that I'm still not at my dorm. I haven't called them. You see, because a narc parent, when they put rules on you, you have to follow them or else, the apocalypse, doomsday. And for my narc male parent, texting was not good enough. You had to call and you had to give a detailed report about what were you doing and what will you do and what are you going to do right now. And so basically, we got to the tavern, we got our chicken, we went back to the apartment. And actually, let me just point this out. In the tavern, I realized that my phone had different calls from my mom, but I thought to myself, I'm not gonna call her. I'm in a bar, even though I'm not drinking, okay? Even though I'm not gonna hook up with someone, I'm not going to call her because then she's gonna be asking a whole bunch of questions directed by my father. So I thought, let me go to the dorm where it's quiet and then she won't be asking me a million questions. And besides, I had texted her saying, I will text you once I get to my apartment. So after that, we went to the lobby of the apartment where other students were. We were hanging out, watching a movie. It was so hilarious. I laughed so much that night. So after that, I looked at Tony and I'm like, dude, I'm going to my room because I am so tired. We agreed. We took the elevator. I waved goodbye to Tony. He went to the right. I went to the left. Remember, we live on the same floor. When I got to my apartment, when I opened the door to my room, okay, and I sat on my bed literally, and my finger was right above the screen to call my mom. Right, like literally, I'm not even making this up. When I was doing that, my phone starts ringing, and it was my mom. I don't remember if it was my mom or dad. And I don't know if you have noticed this with narc parents, but when you call to your parent, sometimes they put you on speakerphone so that the other parent can hear you. I hate when that happens. Well, that's what happened this time. Nothing different like from other situations. So basically, I grabbed the phone and I'm like, hi, I'm so happy to talk to you, Mom. You know, I was going to call you right now, just letting you know I'm alive, I'm okay, I'm breathing. I ate chicken and now I'm going to bed. And I just wanted to tell you that I love you, you know, happy Mother's Day, blah, 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 all that jazz. And then I hear my father's voice and I'm like, oh, crap. Oh, no. And so he started going off at me. And before that, I thought to myself, what if my dad's hearing? And then when he heard me, I'm like, crap, I'm in big trouble. And, you know, he gave my mom a little chance to answer to my introduction, I guess. And my mom was like, I love you too. I miss you. I hope you're okay. I'm a little bit worried that you didn't answer my calls, but I know that, you know, you were going to call me anyways, but I'm glad to know that you're fine. And so, but my dad was like different. My dad was like, you know, how dare you? You don't pick up your phone. What's wrong with you? I have texted you. And I'm like, Dad, I'm walking down the street at night, okay? And I'm walking down the street at night with a male friend, okay? Do you really think I'm going to pull out my phone and talk to you? You know, I'm going to be very aware of my surroundings. First of all, because it's dark. Second of all, because I'm dressed fancy. And thirdly, I'm with a male friend and I have to follow his lead, okay? Because, you know, sometimes you take shortcuts when you're like walking downtown. And so I'm like, he knows the city better than I do. So like, I'm just following him, I guess. And so my dad was just very mad. And I don't know if you have experienced this, but my father, I don't know what's with him, but he's scared of black people. And it's a contradiction because he raised me with this mentality of accepting everyone and everyone is equal and everyone is like, has to be treated the same. It doesn't matter the color of their skin, you know? But it has always been a contradiction because, you know, he would then often say, where are you going? I'm going to this place. Oh, that place has a lot of black people. And I'm like, you know, I don't understand. Like, the narcissist is full of contradictions. And so Tony, you know, he was black, and other of my friends in that group that night were also black. And so I'm like, I don't understand. I have a lot of black friends, a lot of Hispanic friends, a lot of Asian friends. I have friends from all over the world, okay? I was raised to make friends with everyone, and I love that. And I will be explaining in another video how the narcissist is full of contradictions when it comes to ethnicity. Because, by the way, my dad hates other Hispanics for some reason. And I'm Hispanic, which doesn't make any sense, but anyways. And my dad was going off at me. He was just mad, telling me how ungrateful, telling me how he could not sleep because he didn't know where I was. He didn't know what I was doing. And how could I be so selfish, irresponsible by not calling them and not telling them where I was? And I told him, listen, I texted my mother. I told her that I was going to call her. I don't understand why in the world you would think I would go to bed, okay, the day before Mother's Day and not call my mother. I was going to do that anyways. And I was texting back and forth. And if I didn't answer the calls, it was simply because I couldn't accept the calls. I was busy. I was walking. I was doing this. I was doing the other thing. And I had my phone on silent. Well, that was not a pretty good explanation for the narcissist, because after that, everything went downhill. Like everything, cuss words. It was really bad. Like yesterday I was thinking about this and I actually cried because of the certain things that he told me. And by the way, I don't know if I'm saying this because I'm biased, but being insulted in Spanish, in my opinion, is worse than in English, because in Spanish and in any other Romance language like French or Italian, you have to use the proper pronoun in order to communicate with a person. So we have feminine and masculine pronouns. And so it's impossible to insult a woman without using the proper, language. It's not like in English where you say to someone, you're such a, in the B word, or you are a son of a, and you put it that way. But in Spanish, you have feminine and masculine pronouns. So it hurt me more because in order to insult someone in Spanish, you have to do it properly. It's not as ambiguous as it's said in English. So it hurt me more. And he basically turned my mom on me. He took the phone from my mom. I could, notice that because of the way he was speaking closer to the phone, because I was originally talking to my mom and she was closer to the phone, and then his voice got closer to the phone. And so I was explaining myself and he wouldn't let me. He was just insulting me, telling me how dare I be so irresponsible, he couldn't sleep, and all of this BS, right? And so basically after that, I was saying, listen, I texted my mom, Happy Mother's Day. And I don't know what triggered him, but he told my mom, see how she doesn't love you? See how she is? See how she is just doing everything for her own good? Like, she's so selfish. And I'm thinking to myself, how dare you? It's Mother's Day, and you're going to tell my own mother that I hate her and insult me? And mind you, it was already like 1 o'clock. I had to get up at 5 to walk, 3 blocks to get to church and set up everything for the volunteers. I'm exhausted. I'm, frankly pissed off and very tired, hungry. I know I ate chicken, but, I was still hungry. And I was so mad. I'm like, I don't understand. And that's how they ruin holidays. Who knows what would have happened if I would have went home? Probably nothing, because that was his supply. He just wanted me to be there all the time for him. And so because I was not giving that supply and telling them I cannot go to this holiday and spend time with you, I guess that triggered him. And it was a very confusing conversation. And I remember that at the end of the conversation, I got so mad. I'm like, listen, I have to go to bed. I am tired. I hate when you talk to me like this. Something like that. I kind of defended myself, but it wasn't like nothing big. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to bed. I hung up and I was so tired I couldn't cry. It's a weird feeling. I was just so tired. Like, my eyes could not form tears. I was just sitting there on my bed thinking to myself, is this my own family? Like, am I dreaming? Is this my own father telling me that I hate my mother on the phone with my mother on Mother's Day? And I just got so pissed off. I thought to myself, I don't ever want to go back home. But I did, unfortunately. And that just shows you how much the narcissist has control over you, even when you're not living with them, how they suck you in, how they make you feel guilty about everything. They ruin holidays. If you don't get their supply on holidays, they make sure to destroy you. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could be 3 states away from them, and they are still going to inflict that emotional pain. And I guess his supply during that moment was my reaction, okay? Because I got mad and I, tried to have a coherent conversation by justifying my actions. And when that didn't work, I started apologizing. And when my apologies didn't work, I started getting annoyed and irritated. See how that works? It's almost like a staircase. I was like on the top of the staircase, sure of myself, justifying myself, saying, no, you're wrong. And then I just went down 1 step, and then I just apologized. And then when that didn't work, I went down another step, and then I started getting irritated. See that transition? It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Anyways, that was very, very verbally abusive. Like, I cannot tell you how many cuss words he cussed me out left and right. Like, he cut me through like if I were like a pizza. Like, those knives that you use to like cut pizza? Like, he just cut me in the worst way possible. And I know the things he told me is not true. I do have value, but it's annoying to deal with people that don't respect you. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this scenario. Let me know if you have encountered something similar where you were doing something important and you couldn't make it to an event, or you made an excuse not to face the narcissist and it still backfired. Please let me know. Please subscribe, like this video, and share. Thank you so much for taking the time and listening to me. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.